At some point in life, almost everyone feels stuck. Like you want to move forward in your career, life in general, goals, whatever it may be, but nothing's actually changing for you. The frustrating part is you don't always know why. So today, I want to dive in and actually explain what might be going on. But first, this channel is new. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It's free if you find the rest of this video entertaining or something resonates with you. So now that that's out of the way, let's actually dive into this. You're not stuck. You're just in a continuous loop. You're repeating the same patterns over and over and over again. These patterns could be bad habits, poor thinking, overthinking, the same decisions day to day that just lead to no progress. So, what you have to do is come up with a way to break this habit or this overthinking or this poor mindset and poor thinking and change the decisions that you're making on the regular. For example, if you're going to bed at 11 o'clock at night and you're waking up at 4, most likely that's not enough sleep for your brain to even function properly throughout the next day. So, of course, you're not going to progress. If you do that continuously, day after day after day, nothing's going to change because you're going to be too tired to actually sit down and do anything. And when you sit down, you're just probably going to want to doze off and take a nap or just go to sleep. So you have to get yourself out of the loops that you're stuck in so you can actually start making progress. You're not actually stuck in life, it's just your system that's kind of poor. I mentioned overthinking. Overthinking definitely keeps you stuck and in that cycle. You're wasting time and energy on thinking about how to make everything perfect, whether people are going to judge you for failing if you set out to do something. You're thinking, you're analyzing, you're second guessing, and you're waiting ultimately. And that's not getting you anywhere. The way to overcome overthinking is to by just take action. If you limit the amount of time that you actually have to think about something and actually just set out and do 1% of whatever that might be on the regular, day after day after day, eventually that's going to stack up into something big, and you're going to get a lot of movement because you've started taking action. No action equals no movement. Bouncing off of that, when you overthink, you're worried about fear of judgment or fear of failure or other people looking at you and having some type of opinion. And you're comparing yourself to what they might be doing instead of building your own life. You spend more time worrying about what they're doing and what they're thinking of you and comparing their progress to your own, that it basically kills your confidence, it creates hesitation, it leads to stagnation, and it keeps you stuck because, again, you're not actually producing anything. You're not taking action. You're caught in the cycle of just comparing instead of building. You're wasting all of that energy worrying about what others think, worrying about, I don't know, Joe Schmo over here actually getting his bachelor degree or getting the promotion at work or starting his own business instead of doing that type of stuff yourself. So instead of actually comparing everybody else's highlight reels and forgetting that they probably go through a ton of failures themselves, you need to just stop and just start doing. It's as simple as that. One thing that might play into the fact that you're comparing yourself is that you don't have enough urgency and you're avoiding discomfort. It's a lot easier to sit there and look at everybody else doing thing and have pity on yourself instead of actually making yourself uncomfortable and, taking some type of risk and potentially facing failure. I've mentioned this before in other videos, but our brains are wired for comfort. They're wired for the easy route, the path of least resistance. So if you stay in the same routine, you avoid risk, and you delay any type of effort, your brain's going to be satisfied. You're not pushing yourself to grow. If you back a sense of whatever you want to achieve or whatever goal you want to crush with any type of urgency, you're going to switch something in your brain that goes, okay, I need to act now and I need to act quick. It kind of throws it into survival mode because you're starting to realize, like, oh, shoot, if I don't get this done, I'm going to suffer. And your brain doesn't want to suffer. It's all about your mindset. A lot of people say they want to change, but they don't feel like they actually need to yet. They come up with the excuses of, I'll start tomorrow or when I have the time, instead of just 1% every day, like I said, moving towards something that you want to achieve. And when you actually combine that with a sense of urgency, like you need to get this done or XYZ is going to happen, your brain's just going to stay stagnant. It helps it become easier for you to sit down and say discipline to actually doing what you told yourself you're going to do. Lastly, if you're struggling figuring out what you need to do, you're lacking some type of clarity or you're waiting for the clarity. A lot of people think that they need to figure out everything before they start whatever it is that might come to mind. But the clarity usually starts coming after you take action. So, for example, say you just want to be successful or wealthy enough to take care of your family, your children comfortably, right? But you don't really know what the specifics of that look like, but you know you need to get there and you know you need to start taking some type of action to get there. So just start trying things. You might not resonate with the first 10 things that you try, but eventually you will resonate with something and you're going to start seeing some type of clarity of, okay, this is going to take me where I want to go, my end goal. This is going to be the vehicle that gets me there. So the faster you start taking actions on doing these things that might be the vehicle to get you there, the faster you're going to realize which ones are going to stick and which ones are going to be a waste of your time. So that being said, you're not stuck because you can't move forward. You're stuck because you haven't changed the patterns, the mindsets, and everything else we just talked about that's keeping you where you are. Once you actually change them, you'll begin to move. If you've made it this far, again, please like, comment, and subscribe. It's free. This channel is new, and I'd love to grow it to something big so the message that I talk about can get out there and hopefully inspire one, two, or many people. Thank you for watching.